All right, we've got The Smashing Machine, directed by Benny Safdie and starring The Rock. Now, I've always contended that The Rock is a better actor than we give him credit for. I think the issue is that when people go see a movie with The Rock, they want to see The Rock be The Rock. Part of that, I think, is maybe his own fault. He started kind of making these big blockbuster movies exclusively. And I think he maybe kind of pigeonholed himself into making just one kind of movie. So I'll start by saying that I think this movie was okay. I didn't really like it as much as I hoped I would. It's obviously been getting a lot of buzz at these festivals. It didn't really live up to the hype, I don't think. So the best thing this movie has to offer are the performances, right? The Rock is great in this movie as Mark Kerr. I think Emily Blunt was also equally as good in this movie. She really matched The Rock in the performance of this film. But unfortunately, I think this is one of those situations where the performances are better than the movie itself. This is a very slow movie, and I don't think it's a slow burn. I think a slow burn is a movie that kind of starts slow, it builds momentum, and it kind of culminates in something satisfying. This movie kind of just meanders for the entire like 2 hour runtime, and it honestly felt longer than 2 hours, which is never a good sign. Now, as good as most of the performances are in this movie, there were a couple that really stood out and I didn't think were the best. The actor Ryan Bader, who plays Mark Coleman in the movie, as I'm watching the movie, I'm just finding his performance to be really stiff and wooden. His delivery, I thought, was just not the best. And afterwards, I looked him up and I found out that he is actually a real wrestler. He's not an actor. And I feel like that really came through in the movie. I think they'd have been better off if they had hired a real actor to play that role, because his performance, it wasn't great, but he's not an actor, so it's not really his fault. But it did kind of take me out of the film a bit when he was on screen. On the flip side of that, though, Boss Rutten, who plays the older retired MMA coach, I thought he was pretty serviceable, and he's an MMA fighter as well. He's not an actor, but he, I think, worked better in that role than the actor who played Mark Coleman did. Now, there's been a lot of talk about The Rock getting an Oscar for this movie, and while I do think his performance in the movie is great, I don't think he's going to get an Oscar for this movie. Now, he'll definitely get nominated, but when? I don't know about that. I don't know that I'd say his performance was better than Leo in One Battle After Another or even Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, but I guess we'll see. So overall, I did leave this movie a little disappointed. It didn't really live up to the hype, in my opinion, but I also didn't hate it. There are a lot of redeeming qualities about the movie. I'm just pretty in the middle. I'm kind of neutral on it overall. I don't know if it's a movie that I would ever go and watch again, but I definitely think it's worth going out to see, if nothing but the performances themselves. To see The Rock, to see Emily Blunt kind of do their thing, I think it's maybe worth sitting through. And I would honestly still recommend people go out and give it a chance. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Did you get a chance to go and see The Smashing Machine? If so, hop down in the comments and let me know what you thought. And with that said, I'm out of here, guys.